of a 11-11 portal energy going on with this. So as I lead up to the hour of 11, it's 10 o'clock here in the UK when I'm recording this. Rub the fingers together. It's really quite cold where I am outside, but I thought it'd be nice to be outside for you and to just, for me to be, as we're talking about grounding energy in particular in this episode. Feet hip width apart, hands over the lower dantian. So if you can get outside, that's one of the tips I would add. Right, whilst we're doing our breathing, so breathing in, breathing out. Now breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. You continue, I'm just going to give you some other tips. So keeping that posture, one of the things that you can do to ground if you can't get out when it's cold like this, firstly is, if you can, wrap up, be nice and warm, wear lovely soft fabrics, one of the things I'm also grateful for. And in the time that I'm recording this, we're in the lead up to Thanksgiving week, so I wanted to add a little bit of gratitude into our practice, something I have and utilize every day. So it is another tip that you can utilize to help ground you, to help anchoring in your light, to stay in that state of appreciation. And I understand that you can't be like that all the time, so keep that breath flowing in through the nose, out through the nose. Bend the knees slightly. As it's cooler, I'm going to do slightly less movement, more controlled and held poses. Going up with the hands now, coming down the central column. Now, if you can, come with me. Come to where you can go. If it's here, then stay here. If you can't, if you've any lower back problems or any problems with bending. If you can get to here, go to the knees and then just roll out the lower back in, tipping the pelvis forward and back, and then coming down to the ground, hanging. This is called looking from other perspective. And if you want to widen your stance slightly and get the hands through the legs, drop the head down, coming back up to the knees, this time rolling again, tipping the pelvis forward and back, but work from where you can, and tip the shoulders. Any shoulder problems, obviously dip where you can dip, as far as you can dip. Don't force anything. Qigong is the art of effortless power. If it's more than an effort, you're exerting and causing pain other than stretching, then you listen to your body. Coming up, roll the shoulders round, and back, forward. Come to the lower dantian, making a little triangle. This represents the middle part of our Merkaba. So you have the top part, bottom part, and then you have the upper pyramid at the bottom of the kafara. I'm not saying that right. So just the middle part and your lower dantian. Take a breath, step feet apart, and start to rotate. So we're working with the spinal health when we do any rotations. You can do this and do the head further round, bringing it back forward. When you get to here, taking the head further round, you're stretching out the neck muscles. And if you're doing this first thing in the morning, spend a little bit longer on your neck, which is stuff that we've done in the previous videos. See videos from 1 to 10. Keep this rotation, then keep the head with you. Looking. Now this one here, I'd like you to visualize what I call personally my Archimedes screw. So visualizing Archimedes screw, the spinal fluid rising up to the head, to those beautiful glands, pituitary glands, going up, and energy flowing down, going one way and the other. Spinal health and movement. So also when we're twisting, we're doing any rotation, we're working with this whole area when we do that. So it's a really simple move, and you can do this holding a child, I'm sure. It's trying to think how you could get away with doing this with people not knowing. You are massaging your internal organs. So we're working with the liver, the spleen, the kidneys, the lower large intestines, the whole of that area. And in fact, let's add to that some of our tapping. Circular motions whilst you're moving. If you have had a huge meal, you've been out to dinner after your Thanksgiving turkey, this rotation, you can do 2 circles or 1 big circle, just gently tapping with the fingertips all over the stomach, all over that area. I like to do 2 circles, coming up the sides as well here. This is great to do in between courses. It's aiding your digestion, and I'd add the creative visualization into this of thank you for digesting, thank you, so you can keep doing with the movement. Just wanted you to see the difference. Thank you to your body, but also when we're doing this movement, the emotional center, and we hold our emotions at gut feeling around the stomach. So if we're having any intense emotions, whether it be from grief, from frustration or something, this is great, this movement, and the movement that we're going to go into to help with that. So if you've got those triggers coming up at family time, being together at Christmas or Thanksgiving, this is a great thing that you can do. And then moving that into, I think this might fly off, into knocking on the door. Swinging, rotate. You're still continuing that rotation, so you've still got that visualization of your spine, but add to that flow and release, flow and release. And then coming to a stop, we're going to shift from that, coming up to a T with the breath and breathe in. And as if you're throwing a ball out to one side, bring it back up to a T shape, and then the same the other side. Now this is great for working where we're moving all this movement, this releasing, this letting go around the bowels. So if you've got any purging going on, all of these are great for that, whether it's purging of emotions, purging on a physical level, that will help with that whole area, digestion, and again, this is to detoxifying you, cleansing you. So breathing in, breathing out. Now, faster breath, continue. I can't breathe and speak at the same time, unfortunately, and there's no voiceovers for these. So breathing in and breathing out, you can do this slowly. If you are someone that has high anxiety and panic attacks, or that you are maybe suffering from burnout, rather than the quick breath, like breath of fire in yoga, you need to go slower, because we don't want to be putting your body into a higher stress. This is fine for us for clearing, detoxing, if you're not already in that fight or flight anxiety. If you are, shake. That resets your nervous system. You can shake from the legs up and arms up, or now you decide what you need depending on what your body is doing right now in this now moment, and that will be different for each of you. We are totally individuals. So if you're really in a heightened sense of anxiety, the shaking even myself, and I used to suffer from panic attacks when I was younger, I would very well be quite empathic with people's emotions. So I'd find it overwhelming, and I didn't know how to shut that off. So that would bring on a panic attack. Louise L. Hay speaks, it's the violent rejection of the now, which is what throwing up is as well, and what would happen for me when I literally throw up on the anxiety or the energy, because it was too much. A bit like excitement, you know, you get those jitters, it's the same. There's a subtlety between that, and learning the difference between that excitement and switching it from fear to excitement is a really good, so excuse me, really good. Anyway, coming up, if you let ease come to a stop and start to gently knock. Help me for time. Yes, let's just finish up with some immune beat in through the lungs. Under the armpits, around the chest, all over the chest. Bringing our weight chi, our protected chi. Shoulders, the other shoulders. Coming down the inside and up the outside. Go across and round. And this time alternate that. Flow, and back to the chest, gently mix the wrists, and to get some fire if it is cold, this is yes, just to finish, hands up above you and just hold. Now that Donna Reardon calls this pulling down the vellum, and you can tighten the fist and release, but I learnt this from Jack Canfield, and it's great to do first thing in the morning to get your body pumping, flow, and in the afternoon when you have those lulls of energy as two for that. So if you're feeling the lethargy of these high frequency energies and a little bit off grounded, you can come to this point here, and we will finish with this. So see your knee, excuse my hairy legs, coming down the side, either side. Just is this one we want, but we're going to massage both sides, and you can just use the thumbs to massage down the front. And this point here is called the 9 mile point. I read somewhere that the army would, the reason it's called that is because they do it every 9 miles when they were marching in the army. But that's a great point to massage. And again, here, same side, even out, either side. And just flick down. Just to finish off, if you're able to come into a squat, if not, stay here and just breathe, connecting to the ground. Ia no kushi ia na kia tulu kushonu ko na ia na ia tai tu est usk ia tiana ko nia kaya tu. Namaste. The light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you, thank you. Love and blessings in your now moment. I will see you tomorrow.